Greetings, Flesh Wound Horror freaks, and welcome to Flesh Wound Horror Live. I am Flesh Wound Dan, joined by producer Todd.
Good evening.
So, obviously, I'm back in Atlanta after an awesome trip. And Todd, you're a little darker, but you're here.
Damn, that's you can't say that to me.
Your lighting is dark.
I was in the sun. Jesus, Dad.
I knew after I said it.
We're not back at the Museum of Death. Keep your arms to yourself.
Yes, working out some tech stuff, but little darker lighting. But you're here, and that's what
I'm here, and yeah. Even though no one got their Aussie fix this week, so next week that was a whole nother thing. The week was off. Dan was getting taken to the airport, and then the computer issues.
But that'll be worked out shortly. Ozzy needed to renegotiate his contract and threatened us with joining AEW and all this stuff. But you know, he'll calm down eventually, and all is well. So we got Punisher in the chat. Swaggy, what's up? How are you? Good to be back home, even though I miss California. So
good for you to be back home. It's like I feel all my energy is restored to me. I really do, and I'm not just being a dick. I feel normal again.
You know, it's because I left that something happened to your shit.
You know, your energy sucking literally sucked the energy out of my computer too.
Suck the energy out of your computer.
100% an energy vampire.
Am I Mitch Pileggi? What the fuck? I did not do that. Shocker. God damn it. But see, karma. You don't appreciate me. And that's what happens.
Cliff Booth, he did not. He likes his political views, but he instead flew out of LAX.
Yes, LAX, which is a little more. It's actually weird. I'd say I have an easier time there than back in Atlanta. I don't know why. Atlanta airport's just a little bit more confusing for some reason, but had an okay flight this time at least. So yeah. So all is well. Back home in time to kick off the Halloween season, which I'm very excited about. Todd, you know what I'm looking for this week? I'm leaving it up to fate.
What are you looking for?
If Lowe's has the Leatherface animatronic, I think I'll get it. But they never do, at least my local one. So I'm leaving it up to fate.
I'm looking into bodies to create my own. I kind of, the first one I'm going to make. It's pretty obvious. So.
Yeah. See, I wish I knew what I was doing. Like, I could probably do a portion of it. It's just I don't know how I'm going to make the actual movement and animatronic stuff work. So,
well, you don't have to do. I'm just doing a dummy of the one I'm doing. Used Burbank once. It was the best. Cliff, yes. Burbank Airport is probably one of the easiest. Long Beach is probably the easiest, but it's currently closed for renovations.
Yeah, I don't think anytime I've been to California, I think it's always LAX for me. So I have no experience with Burbank or anything else, but I don't know. I guess I could look into that.
I'd persuade you against Burbank. No Burbank. That's too far.
Wow, Swaggy. Swaggy is saying that a Delta flight from Atlanta was turned around due to a passenger with a bowel issue.
Well, it wasn't Dan because he wasn't going to wait. No, maybe it was from Atlanta. Okay, was that you were on time? So I can't even give you crap.
That must have been one hell of a bowel issue to turn it around.
Was it the Big Show on that sumbitch?
I was.
I'm turning it around if he's like, this bubble gut's getting to me.
Bitch. When you really think about it, I've had a couple scary flights. I was on one where lightning hit the plane, which, yeah. Anytime you look at the flight attendant and they like start kind of like whispering to each other and they look nervous, it's like that's like, oh fuck.
My rule of thumb is like I sit on the plane and since where I normally sit, I'm kind of towards the front. I always just watch the stewardess. I don't get nervous unless they get nervous.
Yeah, that was like the
Oh
one
shit!
where
I'm sorry. I meant the flight attendants. Whatever. I'm old school.
it's okay. It's the same thing. But no, I looked and it was like that, like slight. I mean, they weren't freaking out or anything, but I saw it in their face because I'm a card player. I look at people's facial reactions and I'm like, fuck.
Yeah. Swaggy G said 2 days ago it created a biohazard. The person didn't make it to the bathroom and it was down the aisle.
Oh. I mean, yeah, I feel like you'd almost have to. You're in a fucking tube, and for any of you out there that haven't flied, at least in modern times, like there is no room. I'm not a small man by any means, but I'm not like the biggest guy either. Like, and it's like you're like this. Like there is like if I stick my elbow out like that far, I'm getting hit by the cart when it comes by. Yeah, anybody, like somebody pukes though, like anything, like holy shit. So I'm glad I'm not on that flight. I've had some bad ones, but I can't
Stay on the other side of the curtain with that nonsense.
Yeah, I mean, hell, you figure just somebody's not feeling good. It's one bathroom, I believe, even though I never
No,
used
there's multiple because the first class has their own bathroom.
Oh, okay. Well, still a lot of people on that
So I
plane.
say, keep it behind the curtain. You guys could use that one in the tail end.
Todd special. Got to fly first class. I've never done that, so I'm always riding bitch, I guess. But
yeah, you ain't sticking me in a small ass coach seat.
Nah, like you give me like a $50-$60 upgrade, I might do it, but like it's almost like $200 more. So I was like, nah, can't justify that. I'll just be miserable for 4 hours. But anyways, yes. So
speaking about miserable for 4 hours, what do we have tonight, Dan?
Well, we didn't. It's not wrong.
I didn't time it out, so I don't know how long our misery was. I don't know what's our misery.
Combined runtime would be somewhere north of that, I think. So
well,
we'll see.
I don't know.
We'll see
I don't
how
know
it
where you
goes.
landed on these movies. We haven't, even though we saw most of them together, we didn't talk about them.
Yeah, I was gonna say we saw all of these together. So
only one we obviously both loved that we both talked about, but
yes. All right. Well, let's see where we fall.
Which one was it?
So our first film of the evening is Don't Look Away from director Michael Buffaro. And this film, which is actually based on a video game called Stay Close, which I have not played, not familiar with it, but those of you gamers out there, you may be familiar. So it doesn't move. It doesn't think. It just kills. For one young woman, a chance encounter with this supernatural entity proves devastating. Frankie learns that once you see the mannequin, there may be no end in sight except for your own. All right. And what's up, Brian Trash? Good to see you. Good to see you too so far, Cliff. All right.
Well, I just want to know what the Norwalk virus is. I was reading Cliff's post. Sorry.
Isn't it? No, I think he means.
I know it's funny when it's Norwalk.
Yeah,
it's funny with Norwalk because that's one of my main theaters. Why will this not disappear? Sorry, Dan. Didn't mean to derail you.
Oh no, that's all right. That's all right. Different setup tonight, so bear with us. Food poisoning sucks, though. I have had food poisoning. I couldn't even imagine.
Okay. I was going to say on a plane.
I would try and jump out that plane at that point. I think like, holy shit. Not fun. So anyways, Don't Look Away. Speaking of not fun, I did not care for this movie. So if you've seen the trailer for this, you know that it centers on a mannequin, and I was like, oh, okay. It's got very similar story structure as It Follows, which I do really like that movie. It's got a very similar vibe. It's really repetitive because it is a mannequin. It doesn't move. They're not animating the mannequin. You see it. It's just that mannequin that you see in the trailer. And for that reason, it's really repetitive. The movie has this kind of dreamlike feel. The characters almost don't seem to be real. And other than the beginning, the police, who really should be present in this story with these multiple deaths, kind of just drop out of it. It's got this, like I said, soft focus, dreamlike feel and look to it, and nobody really felt real. I wasn't connected to anyone. It's hard to do this story right, but it has been done right. If you're a Doctor Who fan, they managed to make the Weeping Angels very scary and compelling. Here, I don't know. I actually found myself chuckling at most. Like at one point, the mannequin just pops up in a pool. And
you weren't alone. I believe that was the theater chuckling at us.
Yeah, but not in a good way. The acting is fucking atrocious in some cases. Our lead actress, whose real name apparently is Kelly Bastard, she's fine, but I never connected to anybody. It does have a good opening scene that I thought, like, oh, okay, this could be interesting. And it is a low budget movie. It had a very limited theatrical release. It's a small Canadian horror film. I hate shitting on it, but man, it's one of the dumbest things I've seen in theaters in recent memory, and not good dumb. Like I said, this whole thing, it's barely 80 minutes, which is a blessing, because stretching this one out any longer, I would be a lot meaner in my review. But I don't know, it just doesn't work. And you never, like I said, the mannequin is always just stationary, so you never see anything. Like there's a club scene, and
see, that's what I liked about it, that they just stuck to their guns. He didn't move. They didn't try to make it supernatural. The movie was dumb. But
well, it's definitely supernatural.
Well, meaning they didn't like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was dumb. Everything you said, I agree. I'll probably never watch it again, but I'm not mad at it. It was dumb. I laughed at it considerably. So it entertained me that way. I'm not gonna. If you like dumb movies, I could see someone getting a good time out of it. That said, I'm not going to recommend it to necessarily, but I don't think it's honestly, the stuff you're saying is what made me like it. I like bad horror, but
yeah, I thought this one though was pretty wretched. I think I think it's like the clown thing. This one just figured like, well, people are creeped out by mannequins, and that's enough.
Is that a thing?
I've known a few people that get creeped out by mannequins.
But is it like a thing, or is that like a very random thing?
I don't know. I've never gotten it. I've known people, like, you put a creepy clown in a horror movie, they're afraid of it no matter what.
Right, which is a known thing. That's what I'm saying. I don't know a mannequin gimmick. That's what I was asking.
I've known there was a girl I knew in like middle school who, and I don't know why, it was like some career fair thing, but was like creeped out by like the mannequin. And so, yeah, I mean, I guess it is probably not the way that clowns are, but yeah, I don't know. This one it never went for laughs.
That's what I like. I liked that all the laughs were unintentional.
Yeah, there were a couple, but man, I remember just getting up and thinking like this might be the dumbest thing is how let's just say solving a problem. There's a big problem solving scene, and when they did that, I was like, this is fucking dumb. This is an evil that apparently in the story has been around for a very long time, and I'm thinking like, is that really how you're explaining this? This is fucking stupid. That sealed it. I was like, it could have ended maybe on a decent note, and I would have been a little more generous, but I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? This is a threat that has been around for at least 30 plus years.
You're just selling it to me more because that ending was fucking hilarious. I was fucking laughing.
It was Todd, it was the dumbest. It's not.
Again, I like dumb.
I like dumb too. I like a lot of dumb shit, but man, wow. Todd, this might be on my worst of the year list. Like
I would get that. Again, not defending the movie, but I had a good time with it as a bad movie.
All right. Well, I'm glad you got Cliff. You would definitely eat out Fairuza. Don't even lie.
I didn't read that because I didn't want to picture, poor skeleton bones getting gnawed on. It's like watching my dog chew on a bone.
That's fucked up, Todd. Anyways, so if you missed this in theaters, I don't even know if it's still playing in theaters, but
it is.
Oh, and I will say, Punisher just brought up, of course, Tourist Trap. Great movie. I love Tourist Trap. And he also brought up I don't remember the episode name either, Punisher, but that Kolchak the Night Stalker episode, which, yeah, you have better Mannequin. I mean, Maniac, you have better Mannequin options out there than this. And what up, Ghost?
Yeah, but those don't play on the fear of mannequin. Well, Maniac doesn't play on the fear of mannequins.
No, it doesn't. But
so that's not a very But the other two, yeah.
If you see this one, guys, as always, I'm very curious. Put your, feel free to put your own 2 cents and review in the comments, because I really feel like this is one that it's going to have 90% hate. But we'll see. I could be totally wrong.
I don't know anyone who's going to like this one. I don't think Pugs or what did we see this one? What was the one we went to Outback and then saw? Was that the Birth Rebirth?
Yeah, we saw Birth Rebirth with Pugs, the one we reviewed while we were out there.
Okay. Oh, yeah. That is correct.
Yeah. I'm gonna say Pugs was fortunate that he did not make it to this one. So let's go ahead and rate it.
All right.
So, just because the opening scene was decent enough, I give it a 0.5 star, but this is trash.
It is trash, but I had fun with the trash, so I'm going to give it a 1.5.
Okay, not as high as I thought. All right.
I was going back and forth with the 2, but I mean, even still, that's still below. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, I know it's not good, but it made me laugh. I like them.
That's okay. It once or twice for me, but more and just I can't believe I'm watching this in a theater way.
And that actually probably makes me like it a little more, because otherwise it'd just be some crap I'm watching on VOD or something we need to review. We don't really want to, and it's like going out to the movie to watch it and watch that type of picture in a theater. I don't know. There's something about that, so I'm a little more lenient to it's not going to be the only time tonight, but I am because I like supporting those movies as shitty as they can be, as long as we so we can keep getting more.
Oh, definitely support indie horror always.
I'm indie film period, but
yes, at least they had the budgetary excuse, unlike Blumhouse, which constantly shits out garbage.
Had to get it in, huh, Dan?
I had to. Oh, you know what also pissed me off? 2 fucks in front of us on their phones. 2.
I didn't see it the whole time.
Dude, I wanted so bad to.
You should have told me before, because he told me when they left. I would have said something.
I wanted so bad to just. I'm telling you, one day when I just don't give a shit, I'm just gonna grab it and smash it. Just smash the fucking phone. I don't know how that would go. I mean, they're not supposed to have it. I suppose I'd still have to pay for the phone, but they're not supposed to be on it. So isn't that like a 50-50 scenario?
You just go, hey, motherfucker, get off your fucking phone before I fuck you up. That's all you do. Real quiet in there.
Or you pull a Paul
Don't do
Rubin.
that. I'm just joking.
You pull a Paul Rubens. You know what? I'm not. They turn around and you're just, going fapping. It's like, you're not supposed to be doing that in a theater either. So, if we're breaking rules, just get an inch up on them right there. That's my suggestion. Not supposed to talk on the phone either.
I'm just going to delete both of our suggestions. It's probably not a.
I'm just saying, if you're going to be rude. All right. So, anyways, moving on to our next film. That's hilarious. I need to do that, but I won't. All right. Moving on to our next film for real, which is, excuse me for a minute. Like I said, technical difficulties, so we're a little slower getting our synopsis up. All right, here we go. So our next film is R.L. Stine's Zombie Town from director Peter Lepiniadis. I think that's how you say it. If not, I apologize. And this follows Amy and Mike unearth a centuries-old curse when they decide to watch an exclusive film reel. The duo must track down an infamous filmmaker and navigate a town of hungry zombies to save the world. All right. So this film is I'm not totally familiar on what specific story it's based on. Um, I don't think it's a Goosebumps story, so I think it's just a general R.L. Stine uh, property of some kind. I know he's written other stuff too, so not exactly sure what this is based on. My review is just of the movie. So I was a little bit excited. We saw this pop up down there. It's got a great cast: Dan Aykroyd, Chevy Chase, Henry Czerny. I was all in. Now I have to say, Chevy Chase is basically a cameo. I think he might have like a minute and a half at most of screen time. So don't go in playing expecting a Chevy Chase movie. But Dan Aykroyd is in it. He plays Len Carver, who is this beloved horror film director who had the entire town of Carversville, I think it was, named after him. And it was pretty damn cool to see him in a bigger role. Again, we don't get that very much from Dan Aykroyd anymore. So the film's PG-13, and first off, I'm going to really question why. There was absolutely nothing in this film that warranted anything. Yeah,
that's
but they were.
I get it, but I'm sure that's the reason. I agree.
Yeah,
and it's weird because I was kind of because they could have got away with like zombies and the thing. The MPA's fucking dumb.
yeah, because these are not like, they're very basic zombies. You just get like a little bit of white face paint to make them look spooky. Like, no, there's no gore. And now I realize this is a family film all the way. I like a lot of particularly
another Canadian one, by the way.
Yes, another Canadian one. I really liked the first Goosebumps movie with Jack Black. The second one a little less so, but
it's still fun in that one.
Yeah, it gets you, in the spirit that the books. Of course, Goosebumps made many a horror fan. Not me, but there's a lot of you guys out there that were initially inspired by Goosebumps, and I think that's awesome, and I respect R.L. Stine for that. Having said that, family film or not, and bearing in mind that this did have a PG-13 rating, one thing I can't forgive, even if you're a family film, the source of the horror still has to be a threat. It is not.
It's a goose. But R.L. the threats were never really there. That's part of it. They even purposely put it out. That's like the whole point of it. The PG-13, I do think, is a mistake, but that was set like from the first frame of the film. Which is weird because it even says it's GP, which is PG. That's the weird thing.
Yeah, it could have just been a rating that they were, slapped with, but
I don't even know if that rating is correct on IMDb.
It sure doesn't seem so. I mean, there's not even really innuendo in this story. There's no adult themes or anything. It's just all very bubbly kid stuff that you could watch on the Disney Channel. But anyways, I do have an issue with that because there's a scene where the girl is caught up in a swarm of zombies that are all around, right on top of her practically, and she just kind of pushes her way out. And that's kind of the theme through this whole thing. Uh, you get a couple zombies who are nice for no reason, just random, that are not trying to. They're not really trying to eat you, anyways. They kind of like suck your life force, but sometimes that doesn't even work. I need the source of the horror to still be a threat. I understand we're not going to see anybody eat ripped apart. We're not going to see brains devoured. I still need an actual threat, and that we had that even in Goosebumps. I mean, I'm not a Goosebumps expert, but you didn't want to run into Slappy, another mannequin. You didn't want to run into, the Blob or whatever villain that they were doing on Goosebumps. Here, it nothing ever happened. Nothing felt like it even could happen. Again, you have an issue. Although you shouldn't with a PG-13 rating. You're not going to see gore, but you could certainly cut away as the zombie was biting somebody or something. But
you were 100% going in for the wrong thing, Dan. If you were expecting some kind of biting situation going on,
I just need the zombies to be okay. You're doing the life force gimmick, fine, but at no point, like even when they were in danger, nothing really happened. I like Dan Aykroyd. I don't want to shit on this one. I'm just illustrating that I have enjoyed, family Halloween type movies before.
I know, I get that, but
this does it wrong.
Well, see, no, I can't say it does it wrong because it's doing it for a different audience. This is and the way it's set up, it's like telling you, this is the type of movie that's going to get your kids used to horror without a threat. That's basically what that whole intro is. And I get that. Like, I could show my kid this and not have a worry.
Would you not show him the Goosebumps movie?
No, there's too much. There's intense frightening in that one. This one doesn't have that at all. That's what I'm saying. That's the element missing. The part you're complaining about. That's not presence. But they tell you that's laid out from the very first frame. The very first thing that you hear is them telling you that before you even see anything on the screen. So I can't fault it for something they like immediately tell you. And knowing it's an R.L. Stine product aimed at kids, it's like it's what I expected. Now, was it good? It's no Spirit Halloween the movie, not even close.
Yeah, see, I like that a lot too.
And that was the level I was hoping for.
Yeah, which also had a PG-13 rating, I believe. That's one issue. If this is really PG-13, I'd like somebody to tell me why.
Yeah, and because if it was just the PG property that it presents, that's the thing. It's weird. That rating really does make a difference.
It does. The only real, if you love Dan Aykroyd and just want to see Dan Aykroyd on your screen again, that might be good enough reason to check it out. For me, it just, I don't know. It's not made for me. It's not the type of, family friendly horror story that I experienced growing up. Maybe there's an audience for this. I don't know. I don't feel like this is going to be anybody's kids or niece or nephew's new favorite, though. I mean,
I'm not saying that. This to me feels like something to get them used to it and get them ready for good stuff. Like, this isn't even one like to get them hooked. This is just,
yeah,
you know what I mean? It's more just to get them used to it is what I'd use it for. But I'd rather watch something better.
Yeah, you also get some meta stuff towards the end. Like there's some,
yeah, I didn't, but I did. Again, it's another one I didn't hate it. It was the kind of crap I don't get to see in a theater. It may not be good. I mean, but that's a similar experience of going to the movies in the 80s and 90s. Sometimes you just got shit. And it didn't have to have a superhero in it.
Shit is alive and well, as you're seeing tonight. So, look, I'm just reviewing it as me. I think this one was kind of a waste of a good cast. It's not all bad. Dan Aykroyd made me smile a few times. It's a movie that where a movie theater plays a big part and chunks of it are set in the movie theater. So I'm not going to be too mean to it. I'm giving it a 1.5, but I have a major issue. Like I said, I think even a younger kid can handle that. Yes, these zombies are a threat. They're bad. Try and get away from them. A little danger there. It's okay, in my opinion.
I'm not disagreeing, but I mean, it's what I know. Say, I'm giving it an extra half. I'm giving it 2, just for him sneaking the Skullhead vodka in there a couple times.
I think that's the only reason Dan Aykroyd did it. It's like, you're gonna pay me half the budget, and I get product placement for my vodka.
I'm sure he probably tried to get the name changed to Skullhead Zombie Town at some point.
Oh, okay. So Brian Trash just posted. All right, Zombie Town is rated PG-13 by the MPAA for thematic content. All right, brief bloody images. Now, I didn't see any blood in this, and smoking.
That's what gets you right there.
I don't remember this. Saw anybody smoke. Maybe Dan Aykroyd smoked. I don't know.
That's going to get you that, or another thing that I don't want to mention now because I don't think they fixed it, and that'll get people heat.
Oh, really?
There's an orientation thing that MPA likes to hit you with, and automatically give you a PG-13.
Is smoking, characters smoking now enough that you can't get a PG?
You cannot.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, all right. Maybe maybe there you have your answer, but that would PG-13.
But that would be something, and then you just cut out. The problem is most pictures want that PG-13 because it's like that rating. It's like such the essay made it 13 instead of PG.
Yeah. Right. It is weird. Like you do see some.
You left out some individuals are bonked in the head with hard objects. None appear injured.
I mean, you have physical comedy in
that's just
Pixar movies and shit. I mean,
honestly, the smoking. I don't remember any. You know what? There might have been in some of the movie.
I think Aykroyd might have smoked a pipe when they were in his house or something.
But like the bloody images would have been in the old movies. They were all stylized, so they didn't even. It wasn't like real. Like in the movie, you're watching the real zombies. Like there was nothing with them.
Yeah, maybe there was something in the footage from Carver's old films.
But I do kind of remember that there was like a rough look, so they could have easily had some like blood or whatever in there.
Yeah.
But I mean, obviously I was watching like, oh, there's a drop of blood here and there. I wasn't trying to give it a rating.
I would say if you haven't watched it yet, watch Spirit Halloween, the movie.
Absolutely. Just came out on Blu-ray this year.
Something a little more family friendly, but one that I think the adults are going to enjoy too.
Yeah, I'm with you. Like, I don't hate that I watched this. It was cool to see our Spies Like Us reunion that no one asked for. But
what up, Chris, in the chat? Chris, did you see R.L. Stine's Zombie Town yet? I know you're a Goosebumps guy. Is this based on a book? Because I don't remember.
Yeah, it's from a novel. It's not a Goosebump. It's like literally R.L. Stine's Zombie Town.
Okay.
And Daily Ghosts love Spies Like Us. That makes sense. You're about the same age.
I enjoy that movie as well. I used to rent it quite often.
I think we'll do that one on Farce soon.
I thought you did that as like the first one.
It was one we were talking about. We just didn't pull the trigger on. It's on the list of stuff to do. Next time we need an 80s one, I'll push that one in.
Well, there you go. Consider it booked for a future date. Yeah, it's in theaters right now, Chris. I was not a fan if you're just jumping in, but
I just honestly, I just found it because I got a Facebook ad for it. I mean, that was like right before it came out because we had no, it wasn't on our radar at all. I thought it was like a Cinemark exclusive, and then I saw we got it at Amazon and A-List. I thought it was another one night gimmick.
I'm a little surprised with the R.L. Stine name that they didn't try and go a little wider with it, but
I think they knew what they had.
yeah, yeah.
Like the French Canadian accent on the lead boy was kind of rough.
Yeah.
I thought it was a little too Dino Bravo-y.
Well, he just jinxed him, Todd. There you go.
Oh
Right?
well,
I hope
don't
he's
don't
not.
don't get in the cigarette trade.
Yes, stay away from the French Canadian mob. They cannot be trusted. All right, so there is R.L. Stine's Zombie Town. Moving on to our next film of the evening, which is a
We haven't hit
Shudder original.
we haven't hit our 4 hours of crap yet. We're right about 3 hours so far.
We're 3 hours. There you go. All right, so Shudder exclusive, and there's one thing that you may not have caught in this movie, Todd. I'm curious to ask you. But first, so Bad Things from director Stuart Thorndike. When a group of friends escape the city to spend the weekend in an abandoned hotel, a pervading eerie energy begins to illuminate the cracks in their little family unit. Ruthie Nod inherits the hotel from her grandmother, and with bad childhood memories threatening to burst to the surface, Ruthie wants to sell the hotel and never return. But her partner, Cal, drags her there in the hopes of returning it to its former glory. They're joined by their amiable friend, Maddie, and mysterious grifter, Fran. As the friends dance, cook, flirt, and fight, they find themselves entwined in the hotel's seductive embrace and start doing bad things to one another. All right. So, first, I got to ask Todd, because I know we're both a huge fan of a show that the lead was on. Do you recognize Gail Rankin, who plays Rufy, our lead in this one, from something that we both loved? You in particular, because I think you watched it first. You probably won't.
I'm trying to think of the name.
It didn't hit me right away, but
it was on Hulu.
No, not that.
Okay.
You're going to something else.
Well,
So Gail Rankin played Sheila the She-Wolf on Glow.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Which you can't, looks very different in that.
Totally different. Yeah.
It didn't hit me right away, but I was like, oh shit, okay, there you go. So
yeah, it's funny because every once in a while I'll see one of the girls from that and like recognize them and not know what they're from and have to look them up.
80s hair and yeah. Yeah, I missed that show. It
hit that 3-season Netflix fucking unwritten rule.
I was gonna say, unfortunately.
Thank God we got heels now. And CM Punk did not get fired from heels. He's still wrestling a Duffy.
As of now, until he chokes somebody. And hey. I want to see a stunt man just go through some glass. It's like, hey, look, Punk, real glass. And this...
God damn it, Luke Cox. I did see what's her name pop up the other day. The one who was always bitching, the Pog bitch.
Yeah.
I won't say her name because now she might come after me.
That's all right. I won't name her, Todd. So, Bad Things. This is the second film from this director. I know they directed a film called Lyle, which is supposed to be kind of a lesbian Rosemary's Baby. I haven't seen that. I know some people liked it. One issue with this movie is it just can't quite settle on a tone. It's obviously they watched The Shining because we have these jogger, I think they were twins, that randomly would pop up. This is a movie that really kind of relies on symbolic moments that kind of hint at what's going on with the plot. It drew me into a degree. I did like the cast. I like Gail Rankin quite a bit. I thought she was a standout on Glow. But a lot of this, honestly, it was just random mumbo jumbo to me, to be perfectly honest. And seeing as they really obviously were inspired by The Shining, one issue with this, you're in just a very basic modern sort of Holiday Inn hotel, and there's no sense of isolation. You see cars going by
We were laughing.
outside. So I was sitting there, I was like, okay, I don't feel like these characters are trapped like I should. They're not, in the middle of nowhere where, the mental breakdown is believable. You can kind of understand this movie if you pay close attention. I mean, I don't feel like I have no idea what was supposed to be going on. It's a little bit, like I said, a little convoluted. I mean, I could probably break down why the shower started, spewing out milk at one point. If I really wanted to dissect this movie, but it never really engaged me. It just felt like, again, just random mumbo jumbo. And I was never really afraid. There's a couple moments where it gets a little bit crazy at the end. There's a chainsaw that comes into the mix. It's not a gore film, where I was like, oh, okay, this is maybe getting a little more lively, but it's a road to nowhere movie ultimately for me. And Molly Ringwald is in this too. And she's still, goddamn, she is beautiful. She is aged like fine wine. But it's just not interesting. I didn't care. I wasn't engaged enough. At the end, I was just like, okay, this is just, it's like a jigsaw
We
horror.
beat our 4 hours of crap. This was my least favorite of the ones we've talked about so far.
Yeah.
And that's,
I think you
yeah.
were just waiting for more from Molly Ringwald.
I was just waiting for the goddamn thing to end.
Yeah.
We did have some fun while watching it, talking a little shit, but yeah. See, that's the thing. Like, that was the one thing with the movies earlier while watching. We couldn't really talk shit about what we were watching. I think we would have had more fun watching those last two at the house because we could have really had fun with them.
I was
But
tempted with Don't Look Away. I think like once or twice I just looked over.
yeah,
Like,
you
is
did a
this
few
movie's
times
happening? And then in
yeah.
between wanting to just curb stomp the two assholes on their phone.
We did well. I know there was one movie we saw theatrically that we both all liked.
Oh, yeah.
But we already reviewed it.
Yeah, I don't want to. I mean, this one's, it's reasonably well acted and shot. It's just, I don't know. Maybe somebody out there absolutely loves this film, but it was never scary. When all's said and done, I was just like, okay. Yeah, I kind of get what was going on here. But I don't know. Tones all over the place. It's not very engaging. I can't think of any reason that you need to go out of your way to watch it.
Hey, at least it's on Shudder, I guess.
It's on Shudder. It has Molly Ringwald. Again, not a big role. She's in it for maybe 5 minutes, but yeah, actually made me want to go back and watch Cut. That was kind of like her return movie. Not a great movie, but
it's a slasher though too. Kruger will be about that.
Yeah, I was good. I don't think we've ever had Cut on Slashtober, have we? Or maybe we did actually at the beginning.
No, we didn't.
Go back. But yeah, it's a road to nowhere movie. And again, I feel like make the hotel feel a little more isolated. The shots where we're seeing just random cars go by, I'm like, and a stone throws away too.
Yeah, it was like,
yeah, it's like winter.
It was like the Motel 6 off the main highway. You just see cars driving by.
Yeah, just like, okay, forget about all this spooky shit happening in the house. Just walk down the street to the fucking Starbucks and roll credits. I don't care what's going on with Molly Ringwald upstairs. Just get to the fucking Starbucks, go to the strip mall. You're good. End of movie. But I do like Gail Rankin a lot. Kind of cool to see her branching out now after Glow. So, yes, Ben, Molly Ringwald was great in Not Another Teen Movie. That movie's really fucking funny.
We did cover that on Farce. And yes, Ozzy did like that one too.
He did. That was a surprise too, because he's always got that stick up.
It's a parody. It's the lack of. It's the one thing we've talked about it. It's the. I'm trying not to say it on YouTube.
80s sex comedies can be problematic for.
There we go. Yes, and
there you go.
The fact that he didn't growing up on it, watching them play a younger age, doesn't work for him.
Yeah, I still feel like there was a good deal of that. Maybe, like you said, it's because it's a parody, but
it is, and that gets away with it. But the fact that it is a parody, it can also be parodying those things that are not okay now. So it still works. And I do know for a fact he does like sex comedies, but those are the ones he grew up on, so they don't have that weird stigma to them.
Okay,
we'll get to one of those eventually that he's seen. I'm trying not to say which ones they are to keep it a mystery.
I don't feel like I can totally trust a person that doesn't like Private School.
I get that. I see both point of views, but his points are what make me love it, so it doesn't work.
Yeah. I'm like, if I gotta go, I don't know if I don't want to be in a foxhole with somebody that doesn't like Private School. I'm just taking my chances with the shelling.
Just laying on the table next to him at the masseuse. That's okay.
But anyways, this movie, I'm a 1.5. I can't go any higher. It maybe there's an audience for it, but I'd say skip it.
Yeah, I'm a 1.5 also. I was going back and forth between a 1 and a 1.5, but yeah, it's a 1.5.
There you go. All right. So moving on to our
hopefully we break this streak.
Hopefully, I was gonna say it's an off night.
3 down, 3 to go.
Like I said, we're a little bit slower.
Yes, still
2 to go.
3 down, 2 to go.
Right?
3 down, 2 to go.
We have a problem because I thought we only had. All right, there you go. All right. I think you might have froze there, and I got what you were saying mixed up, but that's okay.
Okay.
Moving on to our next film from Yeah, we just crossed streams there a little bit. So our next film from writer-director Christopher Leto is Cheerleader Sleepover Slaughter. All right, Tad. So with the title like that, we both had to like it, right? So let's see. In this film, when a wannabe cheerleader hosts the annual squad sleepover, the head cheerleader concocts a sinister plan for the night, and things go terrifyingly wrong. All right, so this is from Christopher Leto, and we just recently reviewed. Which one did he direct?
We did Sean Donahue's Swamp Women last.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, he was the producer on Swamp Woman, and yeah, that was the last one that we did from the Gatorblade crew. He also directed Crazy Lake, Die Delta Pi, which is actually, I believe, kind of referenced in this movie, and Rough Cut and others. Somebody that we've certainly covered on the show in the past. So, Todd.
So we discovered there was one we had not seen, had not reviewed. So we threw it on as a retro review this week.
Yeah, and it's not an old film. I believe it is. I think it's like only a couple years old. It's listed as 2022, so still a relatively newer movie. I don't know how we missed it, to be quite honest. I was a little surprised that it slipped past us. But
well, it didn't for me because I'd had it in my to watch stack for a while.
yeah.
But we did miss that initial release, so we kind of just waited a bit.
Yes, and it has also Sushi Yvette Holder, who's been popping up in a lot of films we've covered recently. Scream
Satan's
Queen,
Live.
Satan Lives, Rise of the Illuminati Hotties. I really like her work. So this one is an unashamed TNA slasher flick.
Dan hated it. 0 stars already out of the gate.
Oh no, I loved it, Todd. Nobody's going to believe that. That is just ridiculous to suggest that I didn't love this movie. It gives you everything that you could possibly want. Tons of TNA in the movie, as you would expect from the Gatorblade crew. And I don't remember, they might even highlight this in Blood and Sunshine, the Florida doc.
I believe so.
Yeah. So if you picked up that,
which is probably when I grabbed this.
yeah. And there are also some cool kills in this one as well. There's kind of a shish kebab kill that I thought was kind of cool. Again, lately we've been covering a lot of these where it just shows you can do a good slasher movie for next to nothing. I'm sure this movie probably didn't cost much north of $10,000, if probably that. I don't always like to assume budgets because sometimes shit happens and you spend a lot more than you intended to, going back to some of the stuff that I was a part of. But yeah, it's just it just goes for the proven formula set by Slumber Party Massacre and so on. Just lots of skin, a few decent kill scenes, and I was very, very satisfied by it. It's not quite as extreme. It's not like Death Escort Service where it kind of ventures into XXX territory once in a while. It's not quite that hardcore, but I thought they did a nice job. Also stuck to the practical effects, which we don't ask much from these movies. I will take a so-so kill over the CGI blood squirt coming at you. Just give me this. This is not Hatchet level or anything in terms of over the top kills. Sometimes just a practical slit throat, it works, and you appreciate it when you see it. And you want to see like a lot of naked people getting killed with machetes, you're gonna get it in Cheerleader Sleepover Slaughter.
Who doesn't?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Rock Bottom Video and Gatorblade Films, we've talked about them recently. I mean, they're kind of keeping that B movie spirit alive, that modern B movie spirit alive.
Rock Bottom got my number
school,
one.
I should say. Yeah,
Rock Bottom got my number one last year.
Spooky Dookie, which I know Chris in the chat was not as fond of as you.
Oh yes, I'll have the DMs.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say yes. He might be looking to unload his copy of Spooky Dookie. But we need these movies, man. We just don't get it much anymore. And when we do now, it really does feel like it has to be more in the micro budget level of film. And this is a shorter review of the actual content because, like I said, again, this is by the numbers slasher stuff, tons of nudity, and but also well shot, some nice stock suspense moments. Nothing that's gonna blow your mind necessarily. Just a good time. Kick your feet up and enjoy yourself. Yeah,
It's just a good fucking time.
it is actually. I think for like a minute we considered, like, should we review it or should we throw it in for Slashtober?
We had that moment, and I still think we made the wrong decision.
I
We
think
did
we
have
had some similar.
we did. There was one that, and that's the only reason I wasn't like, "Nah, we're getting this fucker in."
Yeah.
Doesn't
And
mean it couldn't go in a future year. I mean, it's always possible.
that is
Oh
possible.
wait,
And
it's the final chapter. Never mind.
yeah, final chapter, Todd. That means it's done.
That's right.
You can't come back after the final chapter. But that is a tease, by the way, because Slashtober is not too long from us now. And we can tease maybe the angriest yet. And if you watch the previous Slashtobers, you know it can get pretty goddamn angry. But
We had walk-offs. It was a whole thing.
I'm going to say unofficial drinking game. For every time Kruger threatens to murder me, take a shot.
I'm going to say that for the safety of our listeners and viewers.
Yes.
Don't do that. You might get alcohol poisoning pretty damn quick.
That is true. That is true. But yeah, so it made me laugh. It made me smile. It's simple stuff, but it works.
I know that's why this is when rating it. It's hard because I really liked it.
I have to. I'm going to be a little more realistic and say 3.5 because there are Gatorblade films that I like more. But
and that's where I get stuck because there are ones I like more, but I really like this one. It's the style I do like.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be generous on this one. Horror movie of the night. I'm giving it that title of what we watched.
Yeah.
And I'm going to give it a 4.
All right. There you go. There you go. Add it to your low budget slasher list and remember better times. Better times, Todd. Oh, Chris says, would you consider his rage worse than the guest fiasco? Well, we're still early in Slashtober, but yeah, I would say he was actually more angry. I think you can expect even greater anger this year.
Yeah, we're not sure. We've only just gotten we just know what's happened so far. I'm still trying to edit this nonsense. Yes, Ben is correct. That's why Mike couldn't get to California. He didn't want to go to jail.
Yeah. So stay tuned because that's going to be interesting. Yes, October, we're almost there. All right, so we have one more review for you guys. Guess we could consider it a bonus review because this is not horror at all, but that's okay. I like to hit a comedy once in a while on here, and this one is Bottoms from director Emma Seligman.
Dan, real quick, I forgot to mention. I just want to throw it out real quick. Cheerleader Sleepover Slaughter is streaming on Tubi. If you guys want to check it out,
there you go. Yes, check that out on Tubi right now for free. Sure. You won't be sorry if you like these kinds of TNA slasher flicks. I think you'll enjoy it. All right, so Bottoms from director Emma Seligman follows two unpopular queer high school students start a fight club in order to have sex before graduation. All right, so there you go, Todd. We get a sex comedy on the show. Now, I should say this director previously made a movie called Shiva Baby, which we covered that. And I remember we covered it because we really thought it was going to be in consideration for some sort of Oscar, which I don't think it got anything that year.
There was there was a little bit of buzz, but I know that was one I was trying to get us to talk about since the Blu-ray came out. I think the Oscar buzz is what made us finally do it.
And we really liked Shiva Baby quite a bit. Rachel Sennett from that film also returns in Bottoms. And I believe her co-star Ayo Edibiri, sorry on names tonight, I'm doing my best, who played Josie in this film. She's going to be the new April O'Neil in the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie.
Which one?
Ao Edibiri played Josie. She's the new April O'Neil. So, all right. So I loved Shiva Baby. That movie followed Rachel Sennett, who was just keeping a lot of secrets. She was like working as an escort, seeing an older man. She was also, having a lesbian relationship, and all of this kind of comes to head. I think it was it a funeral? I believe, and her family's there. So it was a big like comedy of errors. I really liked it a lot. So when I was out there in California, we just knew this was the same director. So we thought, fuck it, let's give it a shot.
Well, no, that's not true, because I've been really anticipating this one. So mine wasn't just a fuck it, let's give it a shot.
Okay, yeah, I was in when I found out who the director was. Otherwise, honestly, I may not have taken a second look at this. It also stars Kaya Gerber, who's the girl. She's the girl that I forget the character name, but she's the girl that Rachel was attracted to. They're basically, it's a sex comedy. They're trying to bang the hot cheerleaders. Kaya Gerber is the daughter of Cindy Crawford, which
she's also in Babylon.
Yes. Oh, God, I love Babylon. So,
and she was on American Horror Story.
Well, I don't remember her from that. Oh, that's interesting. So, modern sex comedies are tough. I think being that they're specifically trying to have sex with, just not in general, trying to hook up with the cheerleaders, that it made a little bit more sense, because I've talked about it before, not to be an asshole, but sex comedies don't always make sense with women trying to get laid. But I think here specifically, it does work. So I can roll with this. The two leads are way too fucking old. I think they're in their late 20s, and it's pretty obvious here. It's no Shiva Baby. It did make me laugh a handful of times. I really liked the.
I gotta pause it. Complaining about them being too old for a sex comedy is kind of funny, Dan. I'm just saying.
They looked it, I think, more.
You're telling me Matthew Modine looks like he's in fucking high school?
I'd say more so than this.
Not even close, Dan.
Well,
not even close.
I don't know, Tad. I'm breaking down the movie, Tad.
I'm just pointing that out. No, that's like, yeah. Every sex comedy except for Superbad.
I think
they're aged up.
Yeah, fair enough. I did like Marshawn Lynch, who plays Mr. G. I thought he was the highlight of this.
Yeah, because he's been doing what was the other show he was on? Murderville. And like like his comedy, really people picked up on it, and he was even in the special episode, Christmas episode, I think it was.
Oh, okay, I need to check out Murderville still, but
yeah. So I when he was in it also, I was like excited because I knew how funny he was on that.
Yeah,
and he's basically just playing himself.
it's a reason. It's decent, but it is nowhere near the quality of Shiva Baby.
This is what happens when a studio gives you money to the director of Shiva Baby and says, make something for us. It's Mallrats for it. Now, there's a difference. Mallrats is still great. But I'm saying it's the same, here's Clerks, and then studio's giving you money, make this. There's Shiva Baby, studio's giving you money to do this. It's not the same. I do enjoy it. It's like in the same vein of like a Heathers and like just those like kind of even something more violent, Assassination Nation. But I mean that type of like teen movie, which I know don't connect with everyone. So there's a few others. Sugar and Spice. I know. Oh, yeah, there's a few. Yeah. There's a few like that. So I wanted it to be better, but I mean, I didn't hate it. It's kind of, what you see in the trailer is what you get.
It's a modern comedy. Like I had a handful of decent laughs in this.
I think
But
because I
yeah,
like.
it is such a decrease in quality
I think the
from
fact that
her
I like the
original.
lead, I mean, like really helps it, like the film for me, because
Yeah.
I do think she's good. So, um, yeah, it's what I'd say. Watch Shiva Baby, obviously, but
Hmm.
you know, I like getting stuff like this. It's another case. I think I'm more happy that we're getting this kind of stuff in theaters. I know broken record on this episode because it was a lot of
Hmm.
theatrical, but I think I tend to forgive a lot more. Like if this would have been the first film, I wouldn't have been as excited for the second.
I did enjoy the serial bomber character and how she kept upstaging this kind of wannabe school shooter. I thought that was pretty funny. I can't remember the exact line. Obviously, I saw this in theaters, so I wasn't able to write it down. But at one point, it's like he's just sitting there brooding. It's like she stole my idea. So there's some good laughs to be had. It's just, man, I was just hoping for more. But judging the movie as it is, I would say give it a watch on VOD. I think maybe part of with the age too, Shiva Baby was such an adult role for Rachel that I was having a little more trouble buying her like in this. Um, Even though her character I think is only supposed to be like, I don't know, 18 or something in that movie. She just felt like an older role.
I mean,
Uh,
but then you look at her next role. I mean, she plays a teenager, and you know how you know she played a teenager? Well, you hated her so bad in it, and that's Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. No one questions her age in that.
oh, she wasn't that, wasn't she? Fuck.
She's like one of the lead girls. She's
I think I like have just blocked that movie
you
out.
have, but I mean, and that's another. Like the same thing
Yeah.
with this. I like her as an actress, so I did like her in that.
Well, there you go. She made a huge decrease in quality
So
with
now this
bodies,
was
bodies, bodies. But then she at least got back up
well.
a
I
little
just
bit.
bumped up that rating for her, so you're welcome.
Bodies, bodies, bodies is a piece of fucking shit.
I'm gonna watch it again tonight now.
Piece of fucking shit. Almost freaky bad. Piece of shit.
Okay.
I'm just saying. So give this one a watch. It's going to be a one-time watch. I would, just as an alternate suggestion, Booksmart. I like
Oh, that's
Booksmart
another.
surprisingly quite a bit.
This is
Booksmart's a funnier version of this. Linda Cardellini, I believe that's who you mean,
no, you're right. That's
was supposed to be like 16 in Freaks and Geeks, and she was nearly hitting 30 in real life. The best example though is Carolyn Monroe, who was 37 when she did Slaughter High.
37.
Yes.
No, also if we're doing TV, then you also have 90210, the fucking old bitch with the glasses. She was probably like 37 too. Like I don't know, any of you 90210 fans, you know who I'm talking about.
I never watched
Daily Ghost, you know what I'm talking about. Slasher video, what do you?
I kind of skipped most of that era of TV. I kept saying I would go back.
I didn't watch that shit. I did watch a couple episodes when Tiffany Amber Thesis moved over, but I needed a fix.
Tiffany Amber Thiessen is over Elizabeth Berkley for me because I was a Saved by the Bell guy. Tiffany is amazing.
That was
yeah. God, we're reminiscing. I never watched Melrose Place either. Never watched Seventh Heaven.
I think I watched an episode of that because someone else was on. Like the only episode I watched of Dawson's Creek was when they made the big deal about the director of Scream directs the Halloween episode, not realizing he directed or was the fucking creator of the goddamn show. So they were all by him. But hey, it worked. It got me to watch an episode.
Yeah. There you go. I kind of skipped that era. Seventh Heaven, isn't that the one where the dad was like a fucking...
Be careful with your words, Dan. You're already going to make me cut one.
Yeah, pervert. we'll just say pervert. That one has to be really fucking weird to watch because I do know a lot of people who did watch Seventh Heaven and now they're just like, yeah, it's so weird to...
You're like, I'm just trying to stare at Jennifer Love Hewitt, and then this goddamn pervert comes.
Yeah. No, I skipped all of that.
Was she on that one? I'm just guessing.
Was Jennifer Love Hewitt? No, I don't think so.
Kelly Kapowski over all other 80s girls.
Oh,
I'm
no
with
way,
you.
man.
I'll say 90s.
Oh wait, Kelly was. Oh, okay.
Yes, that's yes. Kelly is the one you already said. So you're going
Okay.
to argue with your pick.
No. Okay. Yeah. Tiffany Amber Thiessen. I
Yes,
forget
that's
character
Kelly Capone.
names. Tiffany
Saved by
is.
the Bell was horrible. You goddamn right, Brian Trash. You
Oh.
think I don't know that?
Oh, the pervert was on Party of Five.
Oh, Party for okay. Thank
I
you.
thought that was isn't Seventh Heaven the religious one? Because I thought he was like a religious dad or something, which made it extra strange. Maybe I'm crossing him up here. We're closing on non-horror tonight, obviously. Saved by the Bell. All right, I don't know that I would like it if
Kelly
I
is overrated. Slasher. Okay, well, wait. Okay, well then, who's not overrated?
Chris, you got to tell us who your childhood crushes
Well,
were.
no. He said Kelly is overrated, so I don't know if he's like a Jesse guy or what.
I'm a Jesse guy too, but
See, I figured you like the other one.
I like them all. But
No,
Tiffany Amber Thiessen.
What's the other one's name?
I can't remember the names anymore.
Okay, Lark Voorhees. I can't remember her character name.
Yeah, I liked her too.
Lisa.
There you go. Tiffany Amber Thiessen is like way up here.
Son-in-law.
Yeah, like I said, and to this day, Elizabeth Berkley still looks great too. But
she does.
Tiffany Amber
is canon now.
I snuck into Showgirls. If you could have had armed militia trying to keep you out. If Tiffany Amber Thiessen were in Showgirls, I would have fought him. I would have gone home.
See, the problem is she doesn't get the skankiness enough that we can get from Jesse Spano. It would be a different movie. I think it needed that. But I get what you're saying. Why? I think some of my first internet pictures were. Never mind.
I would have walked through fire to get to that movie for
Slasher was a Lisa guy when he was a kid. Okay. Respect.
Okay. All right. God though. Ooh. I have to I haven't watched the new Saved by the Bell at all.
Probably the only person here and listening, paying attention to us.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was a little bit.
It's weird. It's meta.
Dustin Diamond should have been in there.
Hey, they were supposed to bring him in for season 2.
Yeah, I thought that kind of put a depressing.
Well, they give him his moment in season 2. I get it, but
do they kill him off? Is it like a Roseanne situation where it's just like?
Well, no, they
died of an overdose.
Well, no, they don't do it negatively, but they acknowledge it and kind of
that he's dead.
Yeah.
I think I would have just rather that the character, I don't know, come up with some other.
There's no other way you can honor him if he's not there. I mean, you have to acknowledge his death if you're going to do anything at that point.
Yeah. Belding's in it though, right? I'm asking. I could just watch the damn
I know. No, he's not a regular, but does he pop up? I want to say he does. I don't remember now.
Yeah, it just feels like a bad idea. I never watched the college years stuff either.
The college years was good. That one, if you like Saved by the Bell, it's just a continuation.
Yeah, that one I know Dustin Diamond was in. Wasn't he kind of like the teacher's assistant or something?
No, that's the new class. Don't ever watch the new class. That's like Belding and Screech and a whole bunch of new kids.
Okay, then that's what I thought. I might have watched like one or two, and I'm like, the charms just go. Or maybe I'm just older at that point.
No, that was a shitty show.
Okay.
But yeah, no, the new one was, it's weird because it's kind of meta. Like they do stuff like, you remember the band Zack Attack from the original show?
Yeah.
And they play the song. The song's only ever played in like Zach's dream.
Uh-huh.
Yet in the show, like in the new show, they do the whole Zack Attack gimmick and they like make a comment because it never really happened, but they're doing it in the show. It's weird.
Yeah.
So they can do like a whole meta thing and like Showgirls canon now. So.
Yeah. You growing up too in California, I'm sure Saved by the Bell was huge.
Yeah, well, I used to see fucking Screech up at Disneyland all the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Now, were you a mark at that time? Did you go up to him or?
No, because it was still fuck Screech.
I really liked your adult film work.
No, it was before that. No,
No,
it was just, you know, I didn't
you
want to.
never were on an indie show with them.
No, here's the thing. If you're around the same age, are you really going to want to hang out with Screech? That's like the dirty kid you don't want anything to do with. Although, you know, I don't know. Maybe Screech would have helped us get some. You never know.
It's hard because like in school,
I could have edited his movie and been, but we're Slavic.
Yeah, I mean, I could have been friends with the Screech, but I was kind of like somewhere in the middle between weird kid and I don't know that I was a jock, but I did get along with those kids too. So I don't know, definitely weird kid, I guess, if I had to put a label on me, but I wasn't.
No one would have guessed that. Brian Trash said Screech is almost as bad as Urkel. I agree, but I also agree Urkel is worse.
Family Matters.
Vicky, Small Wonder. Yes, that was one of my first crushes. I was a child, so I can say that.
Chris asks, Showgirls is canon and Saved by the Bell?
Yes, they made it canon in the TV show, and I can tell you what episode if you really want to see it.
In the new show.
Yeah, we get it's actually pretty funny.
So it's like Kelly just grew up and made Showgirls.
Well, it's always made sense though. I mean, if you look at it,
again, I'm fucking up these names. I'm sorry.
Because they do the wedding in Vegas at the end of the series, so it's like she could just stay in Vegas and have her. I'm gonna make a fan edit now. Throw the Saved by the Bell right when she gets there. She goes to the wedding, then it all goes to hell. I kind of want to do that now.
That's actually pretty cool. Is Saved by the Bell renewed? Is it just in limbo?
Oh no,
now?
it got canceled after 2.
Oh, okay.
So it was 2, which is fine. Like I liked the new kids. It was cool. It was a very modern cast, but
yeah, it's kind of hard to recapture that. I'm not. Yeah.
Cliff putting over Maya from Family Matters was hot. R.I.P.
Fuck yeah, she was.
She was the actress. Okay, so Chris really wants to know. She was the actress in the movie, or she was actually the character? She was actually the character. She is Naomi. So I guess the logic is she made up an alias.
Yeah, Elizabeth Berkley was her pseudonym.
It's done in a few jokes, but it makes it officially canon.
Do we get titties in Saved by the Bell?
You do not get but you do get some stripper. You'll see some classic moves. It made me pop. I watched it. Not the way when you watch Showgirls, not different kind of pop, but
okay. Yeah.
God damn it. I think I'm watching Showgirls and Saved by the Bell the episode. So I'll tell you what episode it is in the Discord.
Watch party. We kick off with the Saved by the Bell episode, and then we
you have to do that second. Well, I guess you could do it first because it kind of sets up or timeline flashback. I don't know.
We're getting a little too complex, Todd. It's fucking Showgirls.
Todd is an expert at Saved by the Bell. I'm not going to say I'm an expert at Saved by the Bell, but this is why I need to start a 90s channel because that's what I
still qualifies as 80s. I believe the first season was 89.
Good Morning, Miss Bliss. Yes, it was.
Yes, so
that was a Disney Channel show.
It's
and then because they weren't even in California in that. Good Morning, Miss Bliss. They're back. It's still Bayside, or was it still called Bayside? Or it's the same school, but where was it originally? It's somewhere totally different. And then season 2, it's California.
I think that show is responsible partially for me always wanting to live in California. Back then, if I had to trace that back,
it's not the erotic thrillers of the time.
It might have been the erotic thrillers.
Brian Trash.
Anytime I see blue tinged lighting, I just come in my pants now.
What's next? Facts of Life. I never really.
I wasn't a Facts of Life guy.
I like the later ones when the kid from Garbage Pail Kids is on it, and George Clooney.
Okay. You remember Leah Remini? She was like a love interest for Mark Paul Gosselaar. And,
yes, it's when they go to the beach episodes where they all work at the beach house.
another eternally beautiful woman.
I agree.
Leah Remini is hot.
Those were difficult episodes. You had her, and you had Tiffany Amber Thiessen. So
yeah, that would be
Mackenzie Austin. Yes, correct. Daily Ghost.
Yes,
you know,
Leah Remini dated in sitcom was with Kevin James though. So like, I feel like I'd have more of a shot. You know what I mean? Like I was like, all right, Tiffany, you're way up here. I don't know that I'm gonna be able to pull that, but she looked like she actually liked Kevin James. So
the step-by-step girl who turned hot last season, Dana, I think her name was. I don't really remember Step by Step. I know I watched a little of it.
That I did watch.
All I remember is the opening had a shot from Magic Mountain with some really bad computer-generated water at it. They made the Colossus on the beach somehow with some bad CG.
It's really funny. I wrote a script, or I didn't finish it, but there was, and I won't tell you exactly in case I ever go back to it, but there was something meta with Patrick Duffy from Step by Step. I'll just put it that way. I wrote some really weird shit that I never finished, and it's really funny, but someday you might get to see that. There's Harvey again. Yeah, man. Sitcom nostalgia. I think this show is getting more popular. We should just do sitcom nostalgia. Al Lambert, played by Christine Lakin, was the tomboy to become pretty later on.
If we want to talk tomboys, we got to throw out Betsy Russell.
Oh, hell yeah.
Just about. I don't know if she turned 60 today or is about to turn 60, but
I saw her. I don't remember if it was Monster Mania or Chiller, but she does not look very different. She is still gorgeous.
Saw knows how to pick the women.
Yeah.
They're bringing some old ones out of time. Well, now they're,
Yeah. Yeah, no, Betsy's great. I'm trying to think other like sitcom crush. I mean, Tiffany Amber Thiessen was a big one.
Ben says Step by Step needs a parody. I'll just go with that.
Ooh, you know what? I don't think it has one.
The Saved by the Bell.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I mean, other than the one Screech is in.
No. There was an actual Saved by the Bell parody. Apps. Yeah, there's a couple.
Does Screech play himself?
He does not.
Well, then it's a fail. How do you not get him if he's already done one?
I'm trying to think of the timeline on that. I think that would have been out before it, but I don't remember any references to it or anything.
Then I'm making a new one if I find out he's Come on, Screech, let's go. All right.
How did you not book Dustin Diamond in UEW back in the day?
Because Andre would have killed anyone who did.
I think I could have talked him into it.
Here you go, Dan. Dan's in the minority.
What up, Barney? Zombie Town got a 75% on Rotten Tomatoes. Rotten Tomatoes, I never put any stock in that. There's some stuff that I feel gets downvoted to shit, and then there's others that for some reason it's like way too high. As always, if you watch Zombie Town and really liked it, put it in the comments on this video. But
I don't think Zombie Town is one that's going to get review bombed. So it's not like going to look at Captain Marvel.
Hey, think about all of those people throughout his career that Chevy Chase was a dick to. I'm sure they're all trying to review bomb it, Ted. Thank you.
Nikki Cox was on Indiana as a kid. Ben said, "Didn't the daughter from the Cosby Show go up to be hot? Raven Simone?" Angel Heart. Angel.
Yeah. Lisa Bonet. She's married to Jason Momoa, and yes, Lisa Bonet, always hot. I agree. Nikki Cox
was hot. She's got the She's getting skeleton. Yeah, fuck. I
No,
guess
she's not, Todd. She
Cliff.
married Bobcat
Cliff.
Goldthwait, and he was
And
a
now
lucky.
she looks like Bobcat Goldthwait.
No, she doesn't. Fuck you, Todd. That's
All
fucking
right, Cliff. There you go. Run with that one too.
fucking bullshit. Nikki Cox was, I can't remember the lead actor, but she was on a sitcom where she was like the girlfriend of a pro wrestler. Can't think of the name. I think it was a UPN comedy, actually. Come to think of it, but yeah.
Homeboys from Space. I need to revisit. I picked up the Blu-ray. Is Homeboys from Space?
I'm not sure what you're talking about.
You don't remember the UPN show, Homeboys from Space?
I don't think I watched anything called Homeboys from Space. I don't even remember ads.
Well, you got to remember some Shasta McNasty. You only remember that because it was on after SmackDown.
I remember flipping over to WCW. They had Witchblade, the Mortal Kombat TV show, Lorenzo Lamas, Renegade. I remember Renegade. A lot of that sort of like just, I don't want to call it trash, but just fun.
It was trash TV,
action adventure.
That was like literally the beginning of it.
Yeah, Renegade was a little bit trashy, I guess.
I miss Jiggle TV. We don't get that anymore.
No, see, that was the thing. Like, you would think I'd be a Baywatch guy, but that was always to me just like, I'm just going to try and find an R-rated movie that actually shows.
Well, that's post Jiggle TV. Jiggle TV is 80s. That's Three's Company, Charlie's Angels. That's the difference.
Okay.
There was no Jiggle in Baywatch because that was all enhanced.
There was still some jiggling there going on.
Yeah. But you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you mean. I get what you mean. There were many people fapping to Three's Company back in the day.
Not just to John Ritter's nutsack.
In my day, we just had the tight sweaters. And we made good. Oh, some love for Highlander. Yeah, Highlander was awesome. As you get into the movies, I'm a big Highlander guy. I fucking love it, but it does, unfortunately, the story gets kind of convoluted, but I do like Highlander. The last movie, The Source, was garbage, but I do defend Endgame a little bit. It was cool seeing Adrian Paul and Christophe Lambert together.
Is that the one with Edge?
Edge was in Highlander Endgame, yeah. And the fucking talking babes, Lisa Barbushka, who was the love interest in that, had that hot sex scene in Endgame. I like Endgame. Donnie Yen was also in it. I'm sure not his proudest moment because I think he was like, I'll just make movies in Asia a little bit longer.
Yeah. More like bouncing. Yeah, that's what I'd call Baywatch TV, bouncing.
All right, Bounce TV.
I just Googled Rudy from the Cosby Show, also Punisher. Yes, I do remember. Yeah, she grew up. She's a pretty lady.
Yes. So Tiffany Amber Thiessen and Lisa Bonet are God tier. Ooh, Ben just dropped one. Lacey Chabert. I think that's how you say her last name.
Yeah.
She is like on every fucking Hallmark Christmas movie there is now. I think she's done like 40 Hallmark movies.
Original voice of Meg Griffin also.
Yep. She was the older or the younger daughter in the Lost in Space movie. Yeah.
And Ben brought up she was the Jennifer Love Hewitt parody and not another teen movie.
She was, yeah.
She just gives hand jobs.
Yeah, she is still gorgeous. Another good babe. Mimi Rogers. Also, since I brought up that movie, Mimi Rogers was always a random crush of mine growing up. I don't know if it was any one thing in particular, but I always liked Mimi Rogers. And Full Body Massage is coming out soon, Todd, from Unearthed Classics, which you get to see a lot of Mimi Rogers. Another one I throw out for that is A Door in the Floor, the Jeff Bridges, Kim Basinger movie.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't thought about that one in a while.
Door in the Floor is really good. Another one that I don't think got any Oscar love that year. I could be, maybe it was nominated for something, but I was just like, that's kind of a overlook on the Academy's part, I thought. So yeah, I feel like Todd, we just booked a show, Sitcom Babes.
Telling you, I'm working. Once
Yeah.
I figure out we're doing the gimmick, we'll make that one happen. That's an easy one. I could talk about sitcoms.
Yeah, maybe like a tier list or something. And yeah, Lacey did want someone to shit on her in that movie, I guess. It's really weird too, because I'll go back and watch that and I'm like, she became like the wholesome face of Hallmark. So it's a little weird to go back and watch not another teen movie. Sitcom Babes. Well, if you guys want it, we'll do Sitcom Babes. But
wait till a Guardians of the Galaxy fan goes back and decides to watch James Gunn's first movie. I wonder how many times that's happened. What's this Tromeo and Juliet? Let's pop in James Gunn's first.
Tromeo and Juliet is by far the most respected trauma movie, because that's got a lot of good reviews from mainstream critics. If you go back, I always thought that was pretty mind-blowing when that came out, because I was like, oh wow, they get it. They're actually embracing it somewhat.
I think it helped. There was that other shitty Romeo and Juliet that came out the same year, and critics didn't buy into the bullshit. I think that really helped Trauma, to be honest.
Are you talking the DiCaprio film?
Yes.
I feel like that was a couple years earlier.
But that's what I'm saying. So, but
yeah.
that's still the, because I'm pretty,
Yeah, Romeo and Juliet is awesome. Definitely one of the best.
It's the second best Shakespearean adaptation ever put to film.
It is better than Shakespeare himself. Better.
Oh, only thing better is Shakespeare's shitstorm.
Some love for Karen Parsons, also from Cliff.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So, Sitcom Babes. We'll do it. We'll rank, I don't know, what should we do? Top 20? I don't know. We'll have to make this happen, though. I do like the idea. Speaking of things that we're going to be doing, coming up, like I said, there's some technical stuff right now with Todd's computer, but soon, to be announced, we will have a Patreon watch along of, how should we say it, Todd? Are we going specifically like drunk girl?
No, we're just going to be, we're going to be watching some police videos. We'll just go with that.
Police videos with,
but me and Pugs are a fan of the drunk girls.
I'm a fan of drunk girls too. We went down a YouTube rabbit hole randomly while I was down there, where we started watching these and laughing our asses off, and then we were like, this would be good Patreon content. So
public domain too.
Yeah, public domain. So you get to see us reacting to pretty girls being stupid with the police.
Or just stupid girls. I mean, they don't have to be pretty.
There you go. There you go. Yeah. I think we all seem to stop, though.
And I know some people have noticed that the part 2 of our driving around in LA disappeared. I'm trying
for reasons.
Yes, but it'll be on Patreon. I'm just, with the computer issues, it's kind of thrown everything off. So
okay, yeah.
Keep an eye out.
Keep an eye out on Patreon. That is coming as well.
And as we discussed last night on the Flesh Wound Gaming stream, and if you haven't liked Flesh Wound Gaming, go do it. We're gonna do we're gonna invite everyone, I guess, and we're gonna do a Friday the 13th stream. So yes. I haven't even played it yet, so it'll be a first for me. So we figured that one, because it's cross platforms, we can get anyone who has 4 or 5 can play. So.
Oh, nice. Okay, yeah, get on our Discord again. It's free. You'll never miss out on new fast food burger or a new horror movie on our Discord. So
Ben wants a Girls Gone Wild watch along.
Ooh, I don't think we can even do that on there, but that would be fun. Some of those early, yeah, a lot of nostalgia for the ads in the middle of the night. Maybe you'd fall asleep, and
if you're watching they'd be out in the middle of the day. It didn't matter.
Yeah, that is true. And they were pretty revealing for like a commercial too. I mean, that was the thing.
How many 30-second nuts did Dan smell?
In a pinch, Todd.
He's like, all right, go.
Yeah, it was that era. Like, I remember I was a big fan of Jack of All Trades with Bruce Campbell
Great
and
show.
Cleopatra 2525.
I
They'd
keep
always,
meaning to revisit that one. I picked it up day one and have not watched it. What has it been out? 12 years, 15 years at this point.
probably a good 15 years that DVD set's been sitting on your shelf, Dad. But yeah, they were half hour, they were back to back, and a lot of times, sometimes they'd play like on a Saturday at 1 p.m. Other times they'd play at like 2 a.m.
Cleopatra was only a 30-minute one?
Yeah, Cleopatra 2525,
okay.
I believe was 30 minutes if I remember.
I may knock that one out sooner than later. I only got 10 My Name is Earls left.
I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong. I know Jack of All Trades was 30 minutes.
And I got 4 what's the show we're watching? We started watching.
Oh, Euphoria. Yeah.
I got 4 left.
That's another thing. It's one that Pug was a favorite of Pug's, and we randomly binged Euphoria. I think I might have a handful.
We didn't randomly. Pugs told me one thing, and I was like, because it's been in my queue forever. I was like, yeah, we're watching it.
Yeah.
And it
goes to some dark places, but at the same time, there's a few episodes that are actually quite funny. I was surprised.
Ben says, I knew a girl on Girls Gone Wild, but she wouldn't tell us which one. So me and my boys bought each one until we found it. So you found it. That's good.
So Ben basically like probably racked up like a $1,200 bill on his credit card to find her stuff.
See if I could figure out a way to watch those. Did you ever hear of the Action Girls DVDs?
Yes, I did. I
got like 5 of them. They were entertaining. I mean, it's like, for those who don't, it's like if you've seen Jackie Brown, you get the concept. It's just fucking naked or topless girls shooting big fucking guns. That was the whole video.
Yeah.
But those were fun to throw on and throw
isn't
rap music
Tylene Buck, isn't she in one of the Action Girls?
I think I know she was in the Backyard Wrestling. No, I don't know. I'd have to check because it was mostly Chet girls.
Oh, okay.
So,
yeah, no, it wasn't her. I was about to tell a really gross Tylene Buck story, but it was actually Gorgeous George, Macho Man's girlfriend.
I know who she is.
Well, I was just making it clear. I wasn't talking about the Hall of Famer, Gorgeous George.
Okay, no, I know. I'm just afraid of what you're going to say because we have mutual friends.
Oh, then I will not say it. But it's nasty. But I'm just saying, pretty girls can be disgusting at times. Let's see. Oh, Ghost, are you talking about another season of Euphoria? Because I heard that was up in the air for season 3.
It's delayed due to strikes. Yeah, that's all. Did they finish it? I thought they weren't.
Yeah, but wasn't that also an issue with the actor who died and
Yeah, but that was after the season. So if they're working on 3, I'm sure they already figured out a game plan.
Okay, I'm just getting into.
But I
don't
know.
Oh, he meant Curb. Sorry.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Yes, Major Guns.
Great.
Tylene Buck. Yes.
XPW Superstar.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. People forget that. You got to see her pop up again.
So I'm wondering because I know she was also on those Backyard Wrestling videos. So I don't know if you're combining those with Action Girls.
No, she also did a couple movies that were kind of borderline. I think one was called Getting Even, and
Daily Ghost says Euphoria was one and done. I thought no. Are you getting confused with that show at the weekend that was one and done? Because Euphoria's already had 1 season, 2 specials, and season 2. So.
Oh wait, Euphoria had specials?
Yes, we talked. I'll explain it to you after. Yes.
Okay.
We leapfrogged over them. Pugs didn't tell me. No, he told me. I'll tell you how to remedy it when we're done.
Okay, yeah, I will have to remedy that.
You haven't watched anything else yet, right?
No, haven't had any time. You know, that
Okay,
first
well,
day I land, and I
I
go to
figured
sleep.
so.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, there you go, guys. We'll do the sitcom thing at some point. Like I said, if you get on the Patreon, you can watch some drunk videos with us, some police stuff, and
yeah, we're gonna do some
yeah.
stuff Sunday. So yeah, I know Pugs is available and we're recording anyway. So we'll probably do some Patreon content when we figure out times.
Yes.
And for next week, we'll have some reviews. I'm kind of not sure the format yet. I'm kind of playing it by ear with the computer issues. But
Yeah.
maybe we'll do the Friday the 13th thing early. I don't know. We'll figure that. I know we'll do some streaming on the other thing too, the Flesh Wound Gaming. So if you haven't,
Yes. Yeah. Join Flesh Wound Gaming. Never know what might be done over there. Who knows?
we've had Zombie on. I can't remember who else. I've only done it twice so far. So
Yes, a lot of like yelling. Maybe Kruger will be madder at you than me.
well, there's the first one where he was very frustrated with me when I couldn't do anything. If it would have been you, Dan, he would have been yelling at the top of his lungs. I'm just telling.
Yeah, I was gonna say I should have figured it out for that. But, or maybe I would have just taken him out in the game. You never know.
It's funny because I don't want to play as Leatherface. I don't want that responsibility of not doing well. I'm like, no, you please. I'll be the cook. I'll be the hitchhiker.
We need a sex comedy game.
Leisure Suit Larry?
Yeah, that I do remember that.
They need a modern version.
Yeah, there was one, I think it was maybe a Japanese game my brother used to always talk about where like you're supposed to watch your boss's house and like the goal is to basically like fuck his wife or something. It's I don't know.
Didn't we play the very awesome game Custard's Last Stand? Or was it Custard's Revenge when you were here last time? We didn't play it this time. Didn't we play it last time?
I think we did. That was always a debate because like those early graphics, I'm like, does this even count as nudity? But I
didn't see ET with that appendage. It counts.
There you go. There you go.
Hey,
so
you took what you could get back then. If it was 8-bit dick, it was 8-bit dick.
I feel like we could have almost have covered Euphoria, but
we're not done. I'm sure Pugs would not be mad if we did. If you guys want to hear us to talk about it on Patreon, let us know.
Yeah, we can do a Patreon show on that for sure. So, guys, on that note, we will talk to you soon. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for hanging out through all this bonus sitcom talk. We'll do more for you.
We didn't get a post show in tonight. We didn't have all of it, so you got a little extra nonsense.
There you go. We did the Patreon bullshit on YouTube tonight. So.
And none of them are screeners, so I don't have to worry about them. Like, why the fuck are they talking about Saved by the Bell?
That's why we saved it for the end. Tiffany Amber Thiessen for life.
We want to hear about bottoms, not Tiffany Amber Thiessen. Thesis, whatever. All right, sorry, Dan. Sign us out.
Good night, guys. We'll see you next time.
Here's this women with bow-legged women.